Hello ladies and gents, it's me Jerron Dub and I am back with a brand new video. As you can see, it's a lot going on today, a lot of different materials and items to discuss, so let's get right into it. A couple of weeks ago I had the privilege of attending my first ever NWA Mid-Atlantic, well, it's NWA Legends Mid-Atlantic Fanfest, and basically Fanfest is a weekend long extravaganza. Is held in Charlotte, North Carolina at the University Hilton Hotel, where you basically get a chance to relive the glory days of wrestling. And as you can see from, well, this Course Center t-shirt I have, this is Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express, one of the most popular tag teams of the 1980s. And FanFest is something that they've had for the last 9 years. And it's just a weekend-long event where fans from all over the world really just come to congregate and come to really pay homage to some of wrestling's biggest legends. And it's been in Charlotte the past couple of years. They also had one in Atlanta, I believe, back in 2011. And next year will be the final one, the 10th and final one, which will be held in Charlotte again. So I'm definitely making plans to go to that one. But as you can see, these are basically some of the basically my, I'm trying to think of the perfect word to put it. These were just the goods that I came away with from my time there. So let me get into it. First off, in the center, this is was the official FanFest shirt for this year. Every year, based on who the headlining acts are, they have a different shirt. This year was paying homage to Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express, Jim Cornette, among others. So this is the basic shirt. Of course, this is the Mid-Atlantic Memories logo. This was my lanyard I had, my VIP lanyard. And just to give you a view of the back of the shirt, you can see some of the different wrestlers that were honored over the weekend. Lars Anderson, Ole Anderson, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, the Assassins, Tully Blanchard of the Four Horsemen, Jerry Brisco, and trying to think some other ones that you all know. Of course, legendary manager of the Four Horsemen, J.J. Dillon, Jim Cornette, Bobby Eaton, Ken Patera. I believe he was a former WWF Intercontinental Champion, and so forth. Pretty great shirt. Right here, this was the souvenir program, and as you can see, I got it autographed, I believe, by most of the people there. They had different autograph sessions throughout the days. Of course, there are the autographs from Rock and Roll Express. They signed it right in front of me, and pretty much everyone up here did. J.J. Dillon, some of these other guys. So very Jerry Jarrett, father of Jeff Jarrett and TNA, legendary Memphis promoter, Ivan Koloff. These were some pictures I had. They had different photo sessions. This was my picture with Tully Blanchard, as you can see, and we're holding the original, well, I'm holding the original NWA TV belt that he held back in the 80s. Myself and Ivan Koloff. Of course, Ivan Koloff, former WWF champion. He is the man who ended, I don't know if it was the first, can't say it was the first or second, but he ended one of Bruno Sammartino's title reigns, which automatically made him a legend of the business. And he was also a huge star in several territories, in the AWA. He was big in Jim Crockett Promotions, and he was big in Canada, a lot of other places. Very big star of the 60s and 70s in wrestling. This was my picture group shot with Rock and Roll Express and Midnight Express. As you can see, I'm seated beside Jim Cornette with the original, I believe those were the, I don't know if they were the Mid-Atlantic or NWA tag team titles. And of course, the standing is from left to right is Robert Gibson, Ricky Morton, Dennis Condrey, and Bobby Eaton. Picture with Jerry Brisco, of course, brother of, Jerry Brisco, Gerald Brisco. Picture of him came out pretty well. And of course, my favorite picture with J.J. Dillon. Of course, we're both doing the Four Horsemen sign. He had you can see he had the Four Horsemen logo jacket on, which was a great twist. I have so much respect for J.J. Dillon and just everything he's done in the business. This was a picture I got signed by Virgil, and you can see him in the Bottom right, Virgil was the manager of the Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase back in the late 80s and early 90s. As you can see this picture, this is vintage early 90s WWF. Fortunately, a couple of these guys are dead. Road Warrior Hawk, Paul Bear, Big Boss Man Ray Traylor, and John Tenta. So that's kind of eerie, but that's what it is. These were some back issues of the Wrestling Perspective newsletter that I bought. I think it was like 3 for $10. I've been a subscriber to the Wrestling Observer newsletter for, I think, almost about 7 years now. And the Wrestling Perspective, I heard that was a very well-regarded newsletter that ran from the, I think it ran from the 90s through the early 2000s. Maybe it ceased publication in 2003 or 4, somewhere around that time frame. And I actually bought these from the table of Gordon Soley's daughter and her husband. And as you can see, these are some of the original newsletters that were mailed to Gordon Soley. That's his address right there, as you can see. So I thought that was pretty cool. And of course, Gordon Soley is by far, he is the best wrestling announcer in the history of the business. Jim Ross on numerous occasions said that everything he learned he got from Gordon Soley as far as how to be a great announcer. So some back issues of that, which I enjoyed reading. And this is a vintage event poster. And of course, being that I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina, I had to get this. This is a poster for Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Show. Of course, the main event match was Sergeant Slaughter and John Cornette against Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood. You can see Ric Flair and Greg Valentine on the bill fighting for the World Heavyweight title. Jerry Brisco's up there as well, and of course Roddy Piper. So I thought this was very, very good historical poster. I'm definitely going to get it framed. And over here were some books I got. Very good book, 10 Pounds of Gold. It's about the history of the NWA title. Learned a lot in this book and some great photos. It's a spectacular book. If you are into tag team wrestling or the Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, or just really want to know about the history of wrestling in the 80s, just this book is spectacular. I haven't even read it all because it's just so much in here. But this is the Midnight Express 25th anniversary scrapbook, and you can just see some. Of course, it was autographed by Midnight Express and Jim Cornette, but Midnight Express generally are considered the one of the best tag teams of all time. They were a unit consisting of Beautiful Bobby Eaton, Stan Lane, and Dennis Condrey, and they were pretty much dominated tag team wrestling in Mid-South and the Mid-Atlantic territories. And this book is chock full of information about from the foundation of the Express through all of the places they went through, and it's just awesome quality. This is something that every wrestling fan should have because it's great vintage photos. There are receipts of ticket receipts, gate. It's really rare. Stuff that Jim Cornette from his own personal collection he just really put together in this book. So many historical artifacts in here and photos, and excellent book. And this book right here, Mad Dogs, Midgets, and Screwjobs, The Untold Story of How Montreal Shaped the World of Wrestling. I'm a big history buff, and this was a pretty well-regarded book that came out recently about the history of wrestling in the Montreal territory. So I always like to learn about different areas where wrestling was really hot at. So I'm definitely going to get to reading more of this book soon. And my time is running out, unfortunately, and all my stuff is in such a disarray. But I just wanted to share with you all some of my spoils I got from the trip, and I had an excellent time. I did write a blog about it that I believe should be posted up here on my YouTube channel, so check it out. And this is Jerron Dub, and I'm signing out. And hopefully within the next maybe less than a month, I will have a brand new belt review. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and talk to you later. Bye.